The new craze across the nation is Barack Hussein Obama. He's basically he's a real puppet. That's Pinocchio. That's the black Pinocchio. Go ahead. And you still believe in that? He never kept one promise that he made when he was campaigning to be the president. Now that he's a president, he went back on his promises, man. And you still got people that in that trance. Oh, Barack Obama. Go ahead. Oh, that's it? All right. Now, let's go from there to the scriptures. We're going to go to the scriptures right now. Give me the book of Genesis 11, verse 1. And we're going to try to read fast.
Genesis 11 and 1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, and they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole.
That's why they bring that same philosophy going back thousands of years to now, that same one world religion. And we know the end of the story. The Most High scattered them. So what is the Most High going to do now? Let them set up that new world order. That new world order is not going to work, man. It tells you that in Job, the 20th chapter. All right? The Most High said when you begin to eat, that's when the Most High going to put fire to your ass. All right? Matter of fact, go to that since you going there. Go ahead. Go right to the point.
Job chapter 20 verse 19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he builded not, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly, he shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore shall no man look for his goods. In the fullness of his sufficiency he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through.
Yeah, that bow of steel and the iron weapon is talking about the missiles that the Russians possess. That's your major problem, the Russians, all right? Go ahead.
It is drawn and cometh out of the body, yea, the glittering sword cometh out of his gall.
That's what it looks like, a glittering sword and flying in the air. Go ahead.
Terrors are upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. A fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left of his tabernacle. The heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man from the Most High, and the heritage appointed unto him by the Most High.
Yes, that's you so-called white people, you Edomites. You're going down. It's the end for you. You had a great rulership for a certain amount of time. Now it's time for you to go down, and you can't. And you did run well, but now it's time for you to go. Okay. Now let's go from there to the book of Isaiah 47 and 10. And your whole society is based on the worship of the spiritual demon Satan, Luciferianism, all right, witchcraft, the New World Order, New Age, astrology. Go ahead.
Isaiah 47 and 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, None seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art buried in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon.
And they ain't gonna save America. They're not gonna save their own ass. Go ahead.
Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall.
That's after the missiles drop on you. All right. Go ahead.
The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it.
Even Rick Moranis said that in that movie Ghostbusters. He said, "You shall perish." He was a gatekeeper, You shall perish in flames. Now you laughed at it like it was that movie wasn't a comedy, all right? Even though they had a comedic playwright, what do you call that? A script, and they had comedians in there. It really wasn't a comedy, all right? But that's how they pushed it. They pushed it, and they showed you the gatekeeper. They said you shall perish in flames. And he was talking about how this society going to be destroyed in a thermonuclear war. Go ahead.
It says, then shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee.
None shall save thee, all right? Now let's go from there to the book of Ezekiel 28 and start from the second verse. So that's your ass, Esau. All right, you've been wanting and found. You've been weighed, all right, and you've been found wanting, undisciplined. Now it's your ass. Just like the Babylonian kingdom went down. Before the Babylonian kingdom went down, there was a hand that wrote the handwriting on the wall. Many tickled, Safas and whatever. But you can read about it in Daniel. It was talking about, and that wasn't Hebrew. That wasn't in their language. And they had some guy read it. They got the interpretation of it. Was it Daniel that read it? Daniel broke it down to him. All right, and basically, it was saying that the king, you're going to be destroyed, and your society going to be taken down. And that's why they have that term today. The handwriting is on the wall. They got that from Daniel, the book of Daniel, during the time of the Babylonian Empire. So that saying dates back more than almost 3,000 years. More than 2,000 years. So the handwriting is on the wall for you, right? That's why you see us on YouTube and on the internet. And you see brothers popping up, setting up camps, speaking about Israel, because this is the time for your downfall. So the Most High said he's going to raise up the men of the Lord. So you see them in California, and in the West, in the Midwest, down south, in Texas, in Chicago, in Canada, in England, all over. You got something? All right, go ahead.
This is Psalms chapter 50, verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
Yeah, so to set them in order before thine eyes is talking about how the most. Give me what is that? Amos 9. Set them in order. That's exactly what's going on, man. They're coming back in order. Different camps are being formed through the spirit of the Most High. All right? And they cursing your ass out. Go ahead.
Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I rise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen.
And that's what's happening too. That goes hand in hand with the last scripture that the brother read. Go ahead.
And close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord, that doeth this. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed. And the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities, and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens, and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land which I have given them, saith the Lord.
Right, so how's Esau going to be in that? He going to be in that part of our inheritance? Hell no. None of them nations are going, none of them Hamites, them so-called Arabs, they're not going to be a part of that, man. So what's wrong with these guys talking about Esau could be saved? You out of your damn mind, man. All right, we back at Ezekiel, right? Go ahead.
Ezekiel 28 and 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord.
Which represent America. Go ahead.
Because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not the Most High, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic thou hast increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches.
Now, this is not talking about the average cracker that owns a construction company or build a plumber. All right, or somebody that has a GMC dealership. It ain't talking about them, middle class devils. It's talking about the elite, because they know about gold and silver. They deal in gold and silver. They laugh at paper money, which is Federal Reserves. Which you idiots out there, you average Joe Edomites, you don't know what the hell's going on, man. You don't know what. You're just a bunch of dumb, lost, blind assholes that's going to get hit with missiles. Go ahead.
It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations.
Yeah, you afraid of them terrorists, man, but you ain't going to stop. You ain't going to stop them terrorists. The scripture said in Job, terrorists shall make him afraid on every side and drive him to his feet. Go ahead.
And they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am the Most High? But thou shalt be a man, and not the Most High, in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers. For I have spoken it, saith the Lord power. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord power, Thou sealest up the sum full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of the Most High. Every precious stone was thy covering, the sardius and topaz.
Yeah, basically, that's talking about Esau back there in the garden in the beginning, and that was Cain. That was Cain. Because Esau is Cain in the reincarnation. Now let's go from there to the book of Nahum, the 3rd chapter, and start from the top.
Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not, the noise of a whip, and the noise of the rattling of the wheels, and of the prancing horses, and of the jumping chariots. The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses.
Yeah, that's talking about your military might. Go ahead.
And there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee?
That's talking about America, because America is known as Babylon the Great, Nineveh, Assyria, Tyrus, Egypt, Boaz. Go ahead.
Art thou
Rome. Go ahead.
Art thou better than populous snow, that was situate among the rivers, that had the waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea? Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was infinite. Put and Lubim were thy helpers. Yet was she carried away. She went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed in pieces at the top of all the streets. And they cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound in chains. Thou also shalt be drunken, thou shalt be hid, thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women.
Yeah, because they're gonna need them forces, man. And ain't nobody gonna join the military, so they're gonna have a draft. And they're gonna be running to different countries. They're gonna be ducking. They're gonna be hiding, and they're gonna be a sweating. All right, go ahead.
It says, the gates of thy land shall be set wide open unto thine enemies, and the fire shall devour thy bars. Draw thee water for the siege, fortify thy strongholds, go into clay and tread the mortar.
Right, go into clay and tread